The passage we will share today is from 1 Samuel chapter 16, 1-13. Then the Lord said to Samuel, "How long will you mourn for Saul, seeing I have rejected him from being king over Israel?" Then the Lord said to Samuel, "Fill your horn with oil, and go. I will send you to Jesse the Bethlehemite, for I have seen a king among his sons." Samuel said, "How can I go? If Saul hears about it, he will kill me." But the Lord said, "Take a heifer with you, and say, 'I have come to sacrifice to the Lord.' Invite Jesse to the sacrifice, and I will teach you what to do. You shall anoint for me the one I name." Samuel did as the Lord had said, and when he came to Bethlehem, the elders of the city came out trembling and asked, "Have you come to bring peace?" "Peace," they said. "I have come to sacrifice to the Lord. Consecrate yourselves and come with me to the sacrifice." So Jesse and his sons sanctified themselves and came to the sacrifice. When they had come, Samuel saw Eliab and said to himself, "Surely the Lord's anointed stands before the Lord." But the Lord said to Samuel, "Do not look at his appearance or the height of his stature, because I have rejected him. The Lord does not look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart." Then Jesse called Abinadab and had him pass in front of Samuel. Samuel said, "Neither has the Lord chosen this one." Then Jesse had Shammah pass in front of Samuel. Samuel said, "Neither has the Lord chosen this one." So Jesse had 7 of his sons pass in front of Samuel. But Samuel said to Jesse, "The Lord has not chosen these." Then Samuel said to Jesse, "Are all your sons here?" "The youngest is still here," Jesse said. "He's keeping the sheep." Samuel said to Jesse, "Send and bring him in. We won't sit down to eat until he comes here." So they sent and brought him in. He was ruddy, with beautiful eyes and a handsome face. The Lord said, "Rise and anoint him. This is the one." Then Samuel took the horn of oil and anointed him in the presence of his brothers. And the Spirit of the Lord came mightily upon David from that day forward. Then Samuel departed and went to Ramah. Amen. In the new year of 2013, we begin with the story of David, the most frequently mentioned figure in the Bible, aside from Jesus. David is a representative redemptive historical figure in the Old Testament. Matthew chapter 1 calls Jesus the son of David, the son of Abraham, and Revelation chapter 22:16 also calls Jesus the root of David. David was a man after God's own heart, as stated in Acts chapter 13:22. Like David, we too must have a holy desire to please God. David was a shepherd, a warrior, a poet, a king, and even a criminal, yet he remained a faithful servant to the end. God tells Samuel, who is worried about King Saul who has been abandoned by God, to go to Jesse's family and choose a new king. God did not reveal which of Jesse's 8 sons he had. When Samuel saw Jesse's eldest son, Eliab, he was certain that the Lord's anointed stands before the Lord, because he looked like Saul. But then God gives Samuel a decisive word. "Do not consider his appearance or the height of his stature, because I have rejected him. For the Lord does not see as man sees. Man looks on the outward appearance, but the Lord looks on the heart." Even Samuel, a great prophet of God, was merely a human being with the limitations of judging by outward appearances. But the Lord who created us knows our hearts, and he chose David as that heart. Jesse had all 7 of his sons pass before Samuel, but God did not choose all of them. When Samuel asked if all his sons had arrived, Jesse said, "There is still the youngest, and he is keeping the sheep." Here, the Hebrew word for youngest, katan, literally means small one, insignificant one, unimportant one. God made David the least of all, whom even his father Jesse considered unimportant and did not call the VIP of Israel. When God chose the people of Israel, he also said in Deuteronomy chapter 7:7, "The Lord did not set his love on you or choose you because you were more numerous than any other people, for you were the fewest of all peoples." God chose the smallest nation, not the strongest and most excellent. Among Jesus' 12 disciples, Peter, John, and James were also ordinary, uneducated fishermen. Acts chapter 4:13 describes them as unlettered and ordinary men. As 1 Corinthians chapter 1:27-29 says, God uses the weak to ensure that no one can boast before him. Moses was used when he was a weak fugitive who had committed murder and fled. And the Apostle Paul also received God's power when he had the weakness of a thorn in the flesh. God did not use Moses as he was, but he made Moses weak through his 40 years in the wilderness. In the presence of God, it is not that we are used even if we are weak, but rather that we are used if we are weak. I bless you and I to lay down all our strength and obey the choice of God who sees our hearts.